We are live from Conscious Life Expo. I'm Tony Sweet. We have Captain Ron, Dean Ryan, and we are so excited to have back with us Sharon Daphna of thekimbo.com. Yay! Welcome
Live
back.
audience. Live audience here.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for
Thank
coming
you so
on.
much.
So every time we have you on, you have always some great new information about chemtrails, and I'm a little curious because we've had so much rain lately that what's going on? What's changed?
What's changed?
Yeah, what's changed?
There's been a great distribution of Orgone energy devices called Orgonite throughout the state of California. There have been several people involved in this, but I can tell you for sure that Gabriel and I have distributed a total of 4,000 tower busters from all the way from the Mexican border as far north as Cannon Beach, Oregon. So we've been extremely busy distributing them, and it's been very helpful in cleaning the atmosphere and restoring rainfall.
That's great. Well, we definitely need it in California. It's been like 5 years of drought. So do you see chemtrails decreasing or?
Absolutely.
Okay. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
But because Orgone energy it's also known as scalar energy in physics, and it's a type of energy that is universal. It's the life force energy. It's everywhere. It's in us, it's in plants, it's in the atmosphere. And when we utilize this energy, we are able to clean the sky. This Orgone energy is a spiraling waveform faster than the speed of light that's interdimensional, reaches from Earth into space, and literally throws heavy metal toxins out of the sky and into space and neutralizes electromagnetic fields. That sounds like a lot, but it is a lot because we're working with the life energy of the universe.
Yeah, hold on, that was a lot, and I think for the audience that maybe could we just back up for a second?
Yeah,
I mean, you jumped in there like we all know what we're talking about.
Oh.
I think we should we should honestly for me and maybe somebody listening that maybe doesn't know, why don't you tell us like what chemtrails are, what they are doing, so that we, because that was a ton.
It's a whopper, I know, and it took me years to get to this point. So going back to basics. Our climate has been altered. Yes, there is climate change. It is artificial, and it's being caused by geoengineering. That is the manipulation of weather. So when you see chemtrails in the sky, that's an indication that weather modification is happening. What people don't understand is that it's not just the chemtrails, which are heavy metal nanoparticles, but it's also energetic bombardment of the atmosphere that works with those nanoparticles.
And we're talking about the X's in the sky. So
yes.
When we see tic-tac-toe just everywhere, and they always do it before rain, and we're next to an airport right now here at LAX, and they're kind of taking off for airports, doing the X's and all the O's and all that stuff. So kind of give you a visual of what we're talking about. But let me ask you this. I've always wanted to ask you, is the EPA protecting the chemtrail contributors, or are they going after them?
Oh, well, they don't need to go after them. The EPA is a corporation, it's a business entity, just like the United States is a business entity, and there is no obligation for any business to go after or protect another business. So if one business, let's say Monsanto, is hiring somebody to do chemtrails and modify the weather to cause a drought so they can monopolize their GMO crops that are designed to resist drought and acidification of the soil. If they are hiring somebody to do that, the business entity called the Environmental Protection Agency has no obligation to, or not only do they have no obligation to stop them, but they have no right to stop them because a business can't stop another business from operating. So you see, it's all business.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
It's all business. And that's all it is for any of these companies. It's all business. It's all business for the government.
No matter if it affects our lives.
They don't care. It's all business.
So, but you're saying it's not being, these chemtrails aren't being sprayed by the government necessarily. They could be from private companies.
Yeah, they can be from private contractors. There are weather modification companies. You can even look them up online, like Weather Modification Inc.
Come on.
There are weather modification companies.
Let me ask
Google
you
it.
this, though.
Try Googling it, and you'll see
So you
it.
could hire your own chemtrail
Yes,
thing.
you can if you have the money.
Let's go to Homeland Security. They're so worried about people coming into the United States and doing this is terrorism.
This is terrorism.
So why aren't they concerned about? Is it just because
well,
it's money?
Who is
or
concerned?
The government, because they're there to protect us from,
Evildoers.
So
well, supposedly that's what we think, right? But come on,
Right.
this is truth be
Well,
told.
that's
You
what Bush
know
told
the
me.
answer to
I'm
that.
just throwing it because people are going to. I'm the average
Sharon,
guy.
Bernie
asking
Sanders
this
told me this to be true. So tell me he's wrong right now.
Bernie Sanders.
Well, I'm just saying, a lot of the people out there. Well, I'm in a little pickle here, aren't I?
Yeah, a bit.
Well, the government is a company.
Right. That's what we're saying is people expect people like the FDA to protect us from
They're a company.
bad corn. People expect the EPA to protect us from the chemtrails.
They're not going to.
And so what can we do? Is there a solution? I'm looking for a solution, and I need you to help me.
That's why I'm here. The solution is to make Orgone energy devices, which neutralize the radiation that's used in weather modification and removes the heavy metals used. So this type of energy takes care of the problem. It takes a lot of it though. So if you have some orgonite, you're probably going to see some nice changes in the sky over your house. But if you want widespread change, you've got to distribute them. So you've got to take care of your community. And we've seen it time and time again in cities, in the desert, in the mountains, by the ocean. We've gone to different climates and we've seen the exact same results everywhere we go.
What is it? It's like a mineral or something?
It's a small energy device. I wish I had one in my hand
We have
to
one
show
right
you.
there.
I wish you did.
I'm wearing one, and I
Okay.
wear one.
That's what it is? So it's this little device.
This is just for me. This is a small one. They're a little bigger than the ones you distribute in the environment. They contain quartz crystals, fine metal shavings. As you can see in here, there's a quartz crystal, fine metal shavings.
Like, is that doing
copper
something for you
coil.
now, like cleaning the air or something? Or?
What this does for me is this neutralizes electromagnetic fields around my body. So we're in a hotel, we're walking around, we're
12 cell
bombarded.
phones.
Yeah, I mean, I was walking down around the exhibits and there are cell phones everywhere. We're being bombarded, there's Wi-Fi. And this radiation disrupts the communication of cells in the body. It leads to cancer and other ailments.
And if you're wearing
Sleeplessness,
this, that doesn't occur anymore.
it helps. Now,
Really?
I always recommend to people to reduce their exposure to electromagnetic fields. Turn off the cell phone when you
EMF,
can.
right.
Turn off the Wi-Fi when you can. But if you can't turn it off, this helps you it neutralizes, it restructures the waveform so that it's passing through you quietly as parallel lines. And I learned this from Ken Rolla, who is an amazing guy who he taught me so much about
From
professionallive.com, and I definitely recommend checking out his work, and I've got some of his videos on my website. This helps to neutralize it so that the energy, it's still passing through you, it's still around, but it's far less harmful and disruptive.
So, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I used to see, we used to see,
Sure.
the line in the sky, or 2 or 3 or 4 of them. So I'm assuming they started even back when I was a kid. But when did they start really using chemtrails?
I have seen
on
pictures
us?
of chemtrails as far back as the 40s, and that's pretty much what we're told is that it started after World War II, and I see them in old films even, and that's where I see it starting with the heavy chemtrailing. But the bombardment of deadly energy, that's always been around. And Wilhelm Reich, who discovered orgone energy, also said that deadly orgone radiation, which is the energy that they're using in the geoengineering programs, and it's what's produced by our wireless devices, that's actually naturally occurring and has always been around too. So we have this life force energy, and we have the deadly orgone radiation, which is life force energy in an immobilized state. That's what Reich discovered.
Right.
So this has been going on for a long time. Energetic manipulation of our atmosphere has been going on for longer than we know, because there have been other races of beings from other planets interfering with life on Earth for a long time. Now, we don't know much about them,
Right.
but I know they're out there, and I think a lot of people know they're out there, and even if you don't believe they're out there, there is deadly radiation in the atmosphere.
Now, does this offer any protection from them or no? No.
I think it helps. I think it helps.
Let me ask you about this awakening. Like everyone here at this Conscious Life Expo is they're searching for something, and Sharon, you've been around in the business for a long time. You worked with Natural News and Telehub. You've been on George Norrie's show and on and on and on. Do you see this awakening growing, that people are going to your website? They want to know the answers. They want to know what the hell these lines in the sky are. Do you see this awakening even getting bigger, or have we plateaued?
Oh, it's getting bigger every day. I think new people are waking up every day. And part of the reason that we distribute orgonite into the environment is because when we neutralize the sources of deadly radiation in communities, people are able to think more clearly. They don't even know we did it for them. They don't know that if we neutralize a cell tower with a piece of orgonite, all of a sudden they feel better, they think more clearly, and we can help facilitate the awakening simply by removing deadly energy from communities. So that's one way we do it. And also through spreading knowledge. Every day people are learning more and more.
Do you set these like in areas? Do you like set these things out? Is that what it is? Or
Yes.
do you spray it, or what do you do?
Well, they're little devices.
Uh-huh.
And they're really rough, the ones that we distribute. We throw them into bushes, we throw them off of freeways, out of the car.
So you just throw them, you spread them around.
They spread them around, and we mostly target cell towers. And they literally flip that energy. And no, it sounds wild. I've documented it for almost 3 years on my blog. I knew about chemtrails before that. Once I discovered this, we not only started doing it, but we documented it every day and in different places. And that's what it does is a lot of the reason the chemtrails are sticking, they're definitely spraying these deliberately. There's no question. They're sticking because the deadly energy causes them to stick. This is electromagnetic radiation acting on metals. It's it all goes together.
Now, wait a minute. I would feel shortchanged if I didn't ask you this, because you were on Sean Stone's show, and if Sean's watching, now she's on our show. But you said that you claim that the chemtrails, there's an alien connection. Can you just feed me a little bit of that?
Oh, yeah.
So we can be even with our, what is that all about?
Okay, well, the first discovery of this that's been documented was by Wilhelm Reich, who discovered orgone energy. In his book, Contact with Space, published in 1957, he disclosed all of this. While he went out to the deserts of Arizona to experiment with orgone energy to alleviate drought conditions there, because obviously the desert's been in a drought situation for a long time and there had been years without rain, he discovered that in the presence of the deadly energy, which you could see in the sky, it looks like geoengineering, it looks like smog, in the presence of the deadly energy, he started to notice spacecraft, orbs, which at first he thought were stars. And then he saw them moving, and he realized these aren't stars. Then he used his cloudbuster, which was the invention he made that manipulated the orgone of the atmosphere to clean the air and make rain, which he had used experimentally in many places with the results of rain. He used it right at the UFOs that he was seeing, and he saw them retreat. So he saw a direct connection between the life force energy and the retreat of these entities. He also saw a direct connection between the deadly radiation and those UFO crafts, and he reported it to the US Air Force. And this is documented in the book as well. The questionnaires from the Air Force that he filled out are published in the book.
And the rumor is that the chemtrails are blocking, or they're being used to cover up the portals of UFOs and alien transportation. Is that true?
That could very well be true, that they're hiding something. I definitely think that's a possibility. There are many reasons for chemtrails. The ones that are obvious and that we pretty much have proof for.
Circumstantial evidence.
Right, we have, I would say at this point, we have really good evidence that they're made for drought and that there is an economic agenda to monopolize crops, GMO crops. There is an agenda to make a water shortage. Beyond that, there are other agendas involved in suppressing human consciousness and perhaps hiding spacecraft. I can't prove that. I think that the other reasons, the more earthly reasons, have been pretty well shown to be true. As far as the other stuff, I think there are those reasons too.
Wow. There you go, Tony. That's the answer you were looking for right there.
Well, I find it funny because you were saying that you throw a lot of the gadgets.
Organized.
Organized.
Yeah.
To like cell towers.
Yeah, they are gadgets.
Right.
It's really
They
nice.
are. I actually referred to them as
gadgets.
gadgets before.
Yeah.
So.
I love the memorabilia. It's
but the correlation between chemtrails and the cell towers are just similar because more chemicals and then the radiation through the cell towers.
Mm-hmm.
So it affects it the same way.
They do affect each other, and the chemtrails would not stick in the sky if it wasn't for the radiation from the cell tower arrays. When we neutralize the cell towers, the chemtrails evaporate. You see spirals, which indicates the orgone energy, which is spiraling. You see chemtrails breaking. I have pictures of this on my website. We've seen amazing
hold on, though.
things.
Cell phone towers have only been around for, 30 years or something? And you said this went back to way before that.
It did. And that's the ET element. That's when Wilhelm Reich discovered that there was an outsider influence on our planet affecting the atmosphere. Visitors. Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, Sharon, you're a wealth of knowledge, and people can find you at thekembo.com.
Yes.
Anything cool you got coming up? I mean, you're here at Conscious Life Expo. You got something you're going to be part of today. Full disclosure, you're going to be part of my talk coming up. But is there anything, any new films? I know you're working on a book. some,
Yeah.
little by little.
I'm working on it.
Some really cool projects come your way.
I'm working on a research paper with Gabriel, who we work together. He's my fiance. We've been together for many years.
Wait a minute, he's your
here.
fiance?
Yes.
When did this happen?
This
Tony.
happened
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago.
congratulations.
Everyone, wow, that's amazing.
About damn time.
Yeah,
I
no.
did not. I did not know that.
Very Johnny
This is
Carson.
very new news, and
This is right here on Truth Be Told, breaking news exclusive.
yes. So we've been
Ron, did you
working.
know this?
We've been together. We've been a couple for years. We've been working on Orgone Energy for years. We discovered it together. We started gifting it together, and we're actually working on a research paper that will explain the process of transmutation with pictures in showing what happened in different environments to show over and over and over again definitive results with Orgonite, because nobody's ever put it together before.
That's incredible.
With the documentation to show this works. So we're working on a paper that will, our website has the pictures already, but we're going to put together concisely in a scientific paper that shows this works.
That's incredible.
And we're going up north. I'm going to be doing a talk in Reading for the NorCal Dowsers, and maybe another talk in Mount Shasta. We're seeing if that's going to happen. And more Orgonite gifting all over. We're spreading it all over the entire state and beyond.
Are you guys self-funding this, or is people
We
helping you,
are,
or how's
people
it work?
buy our product.
I
People
see.
buy our Orgonite, and through those sales, we are able to continue gifting.
That's very nice.
That's incredible. Well, thank you for coming on Truth Be Told.
Absolutely.
And,
Thank you, Sharon.
thank you
guys.
so much again. Always welcome on the show, and especially when Ron's sick. You know, you got to. Ron's understudy.
Well, he's always sick, but
He's always well,
Hey.
mentally. But anyway, subscribe to this channel on Truth Be Told. Get this interview out, and for Tony Sweet, Captain Ron, I'm Dean Ryan, and Father Sharon, and we'll see you on the other side.